To be CEO, you have to be crushed, expended, yet open. The man or woman at the top has the crown that lays the heaviest.
Some women get burned and some are formed in the fire.
The victory is not about the peak or the end, it's really about those moments where you couldn't see your friends.
It's a game of chess, only all the pieces are alive and want to move their own way.
Where the only thing you had was the plan and the vision.
They see lack, I see seeds of multiplication.
I do this for the freedom and those sad souls who refuse to come along die in the grave called average.
I see things different.
Everyone is chosen but few heed the call.
In my job I chase security or the illusion of it, but in my element the pain is there to remind me I must be brave enough to chase freedom.
These are the moments where leaders are born.
I am CEO. Now click. To be CEO, you have to be crushed, expended, yet open. The man or woman at the top has the crown that lays the heaviest.
Some women get burned and some are formed in the fire.
The victory is not about the peak or the end, it's really about those moments where you couldn't see your friends.
It's a game of chess, only all the pieces are alive and want to move their own way.
Where the only thing you had was the plan and the vision.
They see lack, I see seeds of multiplication.
I do this for the freedom and those sad souls who refuse to come along die in the grave called average.
I see things different.
Everyone is chosen but few heed the call.
In my job I chase security or the illusion of it, but in my element the pain is there to remind me I must be brave enough to chase freedom.
These are the moments where leaders are born.
I am CEO. Now click. To be CEO, you have to be crushed, expended, yet open.
It's good to be live with you. Are you texting?
No, I'm updating everyone to come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to this live CEO Club. For some reason, it's unlisted still. I'm not sure why that's every week it's unlisted, but can we get it listed? But welcome again to this live CEO Club. We are now officially, I guess, Wealth Nation.
Welcome to Wealth Nation.
Welcome to Wealth Nation. We are no longer Wealth Mental Gold. We're just waiting on a couple more people to sign in and join us today. Please do send this link out to as many people as you possibly can. Share it. Oh, look at that logo on the top, Wealth Nation.
That's beautiful.
That looks good. You look good today.
I appreciate that. Thank
great,
you.
Looking ravishing. Guys, please do jump on with us. Please do share this with as many people as you possibly can. Today we have a juicy topic that I believe is going to help so many people. If you are in Wealth Nation already on our chat, please share this with as many people as you possibly can. Again, we're going to give just a couple of minutes, probably for a preamble. How's your day been?
My day's been great. Very busy, but that's a good problem to have. Productive, excited to what's to come. If everyone knew what we knew of what's to come, you'd be as excited as we are.
Yes.
You should already be anyway, but
We
you'd be more
have
excited.
not been sleeping.
No.
Not really. We've been working round the clock because we got a new business, or a renewed business to launch. And it's not that the business was in any kind of trouble. We just decided thank you so much. We just decided to renew, to rise different.
Absolutely.
I think we made mistakes. Well, we launched Wealth Mentor Gold for a reason. Wealth Mentor Gold was all about making all the necessary mistakes. It was a test. We made all the we haven't made all the mistakes we're going to make, but we made several mistakes that were necessary. By the time Wealth Nation comes, it's a correction. We've literally teased out every pressure point in the business that we possibly can, and we put together a mastermind of people so we could tease out these problems and make the company greater. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about 10 mistakes. Myself and Don Miguel here, we're going to be talking about 10 mistakes we've made as CEOs. And you can bounce off each other, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
On the various points. But please do let us know also who you are and where you are messaging us in from. This is live for those of you who will watch it back later. Please do let us know who you are, where you are messaging us from. In CEO clubs of the past, we've had people from Nigeria, people from the USA, people from Turkey and different places. This is the great thing about YouTube. We get to go live all over the world, literally. I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm also going to go live on Instagram as well.
Oh,
We've never done this before. Let's do it. Is my phone stand in here? I usually have a phone stand on my table. Someone stole my phone stand? They stole my phone stand.
it's good to be back, by the way.
It's not here? It's always in here. Sorry guys, this is
The
live.
one day you really needed it.
The one, no, it's been here since morning.
Okay.
So you know what? This is bad still. If you can find my phone stand, that'd be great. Then we'll go live. Abimbola, sorry, from Nigeria. Kiev from Greater Manchester. Bumi from Lagos. Welcome. Do let us know again where you are contacting from. We're gonna go live on Insta as well.
Tyra, Tosin, Carol, Thuli, Jarius, Bumi.
I think that's better.
Oh, that's
We're
good.
going live on Insta as well. Why not? Why not? The objective here is also not to fall off of these stools that we're sitting on, especially on live TV. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, so we're digging straight in. 10 mistakes we've made as CEOs. We hope you're sharing this with as many people as you possibly can as well. And get people off their butts on Wealth Nation chat and tell them you need to be on today's call. Now, I'm going to start this one off. And I don't know really where we're going to end up. We may not even go through all 10.
No, probably
It's
not.
not necessary.
No.
I just think it's necessary to learn from mistakes. You know, there are two
Absolutely.
ways to really learn in life. You learn from mistakes or you learn from mentors. And I think mistakes often are unforgiving. By the way, hi, if you're joining us from Instagram, you should really be on YouTube right now. We're live on YouTube as well. If you're joining us on Instagram, please consider also joining us on YouTube. We're talking about all the mistakes that we've made, or as many mistakes as possible that we've made as CEOs. And I'm going to ask something as well, and I hope whoever's on the chat asks this question. Tell us what mistakes you've made. If you're live with us,
Be honest.
and you've done any venture, whether you're in WMG or any business that you're involved in,
Wealth Nation.
the Wealth Nation, sorry, tell us what mistakes you've made as well. But I'm going to start with this one because I think it's something I've been banging on about for a while because it was brought to my attention that I may have known this all my life, but I haven't really been activating it. And it was brought to my attention when a good friend of mine said to me, you need to read this book. And the book was by Simon Sinek,
Start with
Why. And I'm going to read the other book he's done as well. It's apparently very powerful. But Start with Why. And
Great book.
honestly, I didn't believe in why.
Really? When
When
was
I began.
this? This was when you began?
When I began business, I didn't see, and this is my first mistake. My first mistake, having read this book, I'll be honest, I started with a why, I just didn't articulate it.
Why?
That's
Ironically.
a good question. And by the way, we're going here, I think this is important for everyone on here to know that the most important question you've got to ask yourself is why.
Absolutely.
You know, when I have my son, I'm holding him. He goes, Dad, what color's the sky? I say blue. He goes, why? I go, because the way the light reflects back at why? And he wants to know the cause. It's like he does it, his brain won't know how to move on unless he understands. I think the older we get, the more we lose that curious mind, that inquisitive mind. And why runs into everything we do.
Yeah.
It runs into everything. You often say how you do anything is how you do everything. Why really does run into just about everything we do.
And if you don't have a why, you'll soon come into contact with your why not. So if you don't have a why, your default is stop.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think that was something I remember doing a coaching session with some of the guys, and I said it's important to know your why, but you should also know your why not. And sometimes your why not can be more powerful than your why, especially when your why is not clarified. Now, you asked me, why didn't I want to clarify mine? Because I'll be honest, I'm going to be blunt.
Do it. Say it.
Religious reasons.
Okay. Interesting. I think some of the people watching right now
Religious reasons.
can resonate. I think someone will be able to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you clarify?
I guess there's this Christian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why seems, when people ask why, you're going into my motives.
Yes.
And if I haven't yet clarified or I haven't understood my motives, I guess there's this thing that goes along with being Christian, let's say religious. It's like religion and guilt are partners.
Intertwined.
They are partners. And if you're already kind of guilty about doing anything, you feel a sense of guilt about anything and everything. And most people feel guilty. They feel guilty about making money, for example. You feel guilty about
Was
doing
that the case
business.
with you?
Guilt.
Yeah.
A lot of guilt. It's the fact I'm a pastor as
Yeah.
well. I'm a leader of several churches, and an overseer, and it's that whole dichotomy of, and it's the guilt, societal guilt. And I think it's re-emerging now. This communist agenda.
We were talking. I
Oh,
love
man.
this topic at the moment.
It's re-emerging. Capitalists are hugely greedy.
Eat
and
the rich.
Evil and eat the rich movement. Like rich people all inherited it. And
Yeah.
did they? Rich people?
No, absolutely not. And I'd say if you're going to criticize a system, be prepared to put your money where your mouth is, ironically, because the same music you're listening to are millionaires.
Right.
Okay, you rent a house, giving money. You're a contributor to someone when you're paying rent or
Correct.
bought a house. The food that you eat, everything is part of the system.
Correct.
And it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness.
Correct. And it's all of the guilts.
Yeah.
It's how if I have, there's a group of people who don't have. It's this sense of, and also it's what people impose upon me.
Yeah.
I have I have quite a lot of followers on Instagram, and not all of them are positive.
Yeah.
And yet I asked them when they criticize, like, how dare you post success? Somebody wrote on my Instagram DMs, when are you going to die? Whew.
What did you respond?
No. I've responded once, and I don't often respond to fools because they're not looking for logic. You know, you're just going to end up wasting your energy. But somebody asked me that, and people have written to me some of the most demeaning things, and I say to them, so why are you following?
Yes.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You can unfollow. But there are people who really believe they are called to correct me.
Yes.
It's their life assignment.
It's their
to
mission.
change me,
Yeah.
to reform the way I think.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to define why for a long time. It felt judgy. It felt like if I start asking myself why, I'm going to start going into why not.
Yes.
And it's going to get really judgy. And then I realized, actually, you are born with why.
Yes.
Your why is who you are authentically.
Yeah.
It's who you are truly. Your why is, it's you and I could watch a film and it's deeply emotional and sad and I'll cry and you won't. It's what moves you.
Yeah.
It's what irritates you. It's what frustrates you. It's the repeated theme in your life.
Yes.
And if you can find it, your why is leaving clues all the way through your life. It's leaving you clues of who you are, what you're here to achieve. Somebody said God versus mammon. Somebody said not enough research and assumptions was their why. The reason why they didn't start with why. Yeah, all of that. So there's all of this stuff. And I guess there's also the reason why I didn't start with why is because I met so many believers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I actually think sometimes believers are the most deceived people in this world. High-level optimism doesn't mean you're succeeding. Positive thinking does not mean you're positively acting.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that. And so I met so many believers, the people I call the Amen Committee, you know, the nodders, the shakers, the movers, the will take the world, the
You've been
screamers.
frustrated with this for a very
I
long
got
time.
frustrated with seeing people believe and not act. I became disillusioned with believers. And I decided I need to become an actor. I actually stopped reading books for a year because I thought I know so much.
This was my frustration
What am I
too.
applying?
Yeah.
Right.
I really resonate to this because when someone says, if you're, okay, let me just say how it is. I hope no one gets offended, but when you're dumb and you're poor, everyone will give you the benefit of the doubt. No one will turn a blind eye. But when you're smart and you're struggling, now that's pitiful. So
Right.
the more you know, but the where you're progressing isn't in the same proportion to what you know,
Right.
that's even more frustrating.
Right.
So it's like, I'm spending all this time reading, but why is it not manifesting in the physical equivalent? So yeah, it's a massive frustration to, especially for a lot of people that they know they're smart, but they see people that may not be as smart as them, not as, not where they are, but they're doing 3, 5, 10 times better than they are.
Yeah.
That's a frustration with many.
And I think it's possible to give up if you define what,
Yeah.
but it's not possible when you define why. It's actually, when you know why, it's impossible to quit. I don't believe it's possible. Because your why it's an eternal value. The what is always temporary. You know, the what has a sell-by date on it. The what has an expiry.
The retirement mentality. I'll do this for 30 years, endure it, and then I'll retire at 50,
Right. Right.
That kind of thing.
Do you know what struck me in the book by Simon Sinek? He was talking about Apple as a company versus Dell. There are computers out there with greater specs than Apple.
Absolutely.
Greater specs than Apple. Well, I mean, and the Apple people will come for us. They'll be upset. You know, I'm using a Zephyrus Rogue Zephyrus right now. This can run miles around an Apple computer.
Absolutely.
But most people won't buy this.
Or even know about it.
Or even know what this is. People
Yeah.
literally DM me, what computer is that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They wouldn't even know about it because Apple's done something.
Yeah.
They keep selling us the same product. The same iPhone is all they do is change the shape, or they say higher retina display, things that we don't recognize. What Apple did that other companies didn't do, the difference between the Apples and the Nokias of this world, Apple started with why. And because they started with why, I love this saying in the book, they developed a cult-like following. When I read that, I said, well, what's the essence of that? Because, and what he discusses in the book is very few of us make logical decisions.
Yeah.
In fact,
Always emotional.
Exactly. Left to logical decisions, we actually would rather not choose if you create too much logic in the decision. We would rather make an emotional decision. And so what why releases is how your business feels to people.
Yeah.
It's how you feel to people. It's how you communicate.
The
Like
story.
there's this guy, motivational speaker, swears a lot.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V. Yeah?
Gary V.
I don't even know Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
V, right?
Yeah.
He's not the most prolific speaker I've ever heard.
What do you mean by prolific? The most known or the
most
best?
knowledgeable. I
Okay.
heard people, when they speak with real
Wisdom, content,
and
substance.
yeah,
But
but he feels good.
yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
feels good.
You can definitely,
Yeah.
it's not what he's doing,
And you remember what he says,
Right.
and it sticks with you what he says.
because he's a feeling now.
Yeah.
Gary V feels like sincerity, truth. He feels pure, even though the guy swears like a sailor. But you want to connect with him. You want to, he feels compassionate. And I guess when you start with why, you're releasing how you feel to the world around you. You're releasing a sense of, well, this guy is in it to help us.
Absolutely.
And I guess people really stay with you, not because how you treat them, but how you make them feel,
How they make them feel, yeah.
right?
It's very true.
I've seen it all my life. People leave, I had a choice in car between BMW
And Range Rover.
And actually, I'll tell you, The BMW
Was the car that you wanted more.
nicer than
Yeah.
the Range, and
Yeah.
it was the car I wanted more. But the way they treated me at Range Rover,
Mm-hmm.
they treated me like royalty.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they sent me pictures of the car,
Mm-hmm.
videos of the new car. They showed me around. They offered me food when I went
Mm-hmm.
into the garage, some champagne and
This
whatever.
is priceless.
They
Yeah.
said, "Could you?" They said, "Are you comfortable?" They bought me coffee. They kept watering me like
Mm-hmm.
I was a cow, and they said, "Would you like to try the car? Push the engine." When I went to BMW, they were like, I remember walking in. They're like, "Which one do you want?"
Was
They
it a
didn't-
person or the entire
person.
team? Okay.
And he went round. No, with Range Rover, they asked me, "What do you want?" Before we even saw the car, they gathered every single need, every objection I could ever have. They know I have children, so they can't sell me a car with only 2 seats. They found out exactly what I wanted. Their slogan is called "Above and Beyond." That's their mission statement. I remember
like
it
that.
because they literally did it.
Yeah.
They went above and beyond the Call of Duty. When I went to BMW, the guy was telling me everything I didn't need. He's like, "Oh man, I can show you
He wasn't
something."
listening. He
He
wasn't listening.
wasn't listening.
He's trying to hit mud in the wall, hoping one of them would stick to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I connected with the why of Range Rover.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really felt, and their service is still amazing.
Do you know what's strange? The more aware you are of sales, the more I feel like the more susceptible at least I am to it. It's like he's doing the right thing.
Right.
I feel more compelled.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the phrase, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
And that's it. Your why really releases the feeling behind what you do. You know, if I sell you a cup versus if Gary Vee sold you this cup, you'd feel different about this cup. Because it's not the object, it's the person who released it. That's why we say in any sales, people aren't buying your products, they're buying you. They're buying the person. They're buying, even if I buy Apple now, do you know who I'm buying? I'm buying it smarter. I'm buying Steve Jobs. I am. When I buy Apple, I'm buying that rebel. When I open that Apple computer and that light shows up, I'm announcing to everyone around me, I'm not you.
Yeah.
I'm part of the rebels. I'm part of the people who went against the status quo
Yeah.
and didn't do Microsoft software. So starting with why is hugely essential.
But I feel like now it's changed. I feel like Apple's the status quo, and me wanting a Microsoft computer, I feel like the rebel, now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
they
why
created a bit of an, I don't know why I bother trying to use this word, antithesis.
antithesis.
They've
Yeah.
created a bit of that, yes. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. But that would be one of my big mistakes. It would be not defining why. I always had a why. And I'll tell you, I must have had because I've never given up.
Yeah.
And I faced dire obstacles in this business. Dire obstacles. Things that would break anyone's heart. I mean, painful things. You've seen some of the journey.
I have.
Things that would just make people cry. I mean, we even have web developers that were useless. I'm going to post that company so no one suffers. I am going to post it online. No, I'm not like that. I gave them chances. But I am going to post them on Twitter and Instagram and everything. So but we need to move our website hosting over before they sabotage my site. Once we move everything over, I am posting the life out of them and saying, do not go near this company.
Yeah.
Because anyone I even put in a chat with these guys would end up swearing, screaming, shouting at them because they were so incompetent.
You don't know who someone is until they've spoken to the developers. You're like, oh wow, that's you. I thought I knew who you are.
Right. No, but they would make your blood boil.
Yeah.
They just, and this is core to your business. I was telling them, I've just lost £10,000 off of my net worth as a company today because of this fault in your, we'll sort it out. When? Soon. Soon is not a definite time. You need to have a sense of urgency and tell me when.
I'll let you know.
I'll let you know. You just want to chokehold them. It was so painful to experience that. And that leads to my next point. Cheap is not always cheerful.
Yes.
Cheap is not always cheerful. right?
Sometimes you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. And this was expensive. The website was expensive, especially for where I was. We're talking in the 5-6 figure bracket. It was expensive for where I was. But I went for the cheapest person. I did. I went for, I'll be honest, I had two choices. One guy was super expensive. And these guys
American.
were, yeah. Were you there?
Yeah, I've been listening. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Americans were stupid expensive. No, but they were ridiculous.
Yeah. I hear you.
They were ridiculous. And then these guys were super cheap. And I almost couldn't believe it. I said, this is perfect. And I figured I should have known this in business. If it's too good to be true, it's most likely it's too good to be true. And so I went, unfortunately, for that cheaper service. And I seriously underestimated the level of pain that could cost in the long run. But you know what? I'm grateful because it helped us. It started our business. We learned some clear mistakes from that as well. But cheap is not always necessarily cheerful. The other one I'd say is, and I'll let you delve into this one, negative attitudes towards sales.
This is very, I think, everyone that is in our company that is wanting to have success in the residual income building side has had to butt heads with this at one point, especially if they haven't had that mindset that you're a solution provider, not an opportunity giver. An opportunity
Say it
giver.
again.
You are not an opportunity giver, you're a solution provider.
Absolutely.
How many people in your network has genuinely provided you an opportunity to set themselves free? You're not setting your friends or family or whoever in your network free. You're giving them a vehicle to set themselves free.
Yes.
And when you start to realize that 9 out of 10 people want to be somewhere, but they do not have the vehicle to be able to get them there, it's easy for me to share an opportunity with someone, because that's all I'm doing. I'm sharing. And the fact is, sales is something that everyone does. If you've gotten to wherever you are in life, you've ever had a partner, boyfriend or girlfriend, you've had a job, you've developed some friends, you've gone through anything, it's required that you had to sell yourself.
Yes.
You had to sell your skills, you had to sell that you were trustworthy, you had to sell that you're someone that is valuable in someone's life or in someone's company or in someone's vicinity for you to have been in that position.
Absolutely.
So everyone sells, but when someone says, I don't like to sell, they don't understand that sales isn't convincing and manipulating. I think we've seen way too many movies.
Right. We've seen the Sell Me the Pen.
Yeah, Sell Me the Pen, Wolf of Wall Street, The Boiler Room.
Yeah.
That's not sales.
Right.
Okay, that's lying and manipulation. All sales is identifying someone's problem and genuine need for something, and then taking something and communicating it in a way that lets them know that this is an ideal pathway or product or service that can solve their particular problem or issue.
Right.
So you're a solution provider. You provide something of value that can solve someone's issue with something, whether it's a product such as a drink or something, or whether it's an opportunity that can help them, number one, gain more time, which everyone wants more time to spend the things they want doing, or more money so they can spend more, so they can, put the resources to whatever they want to build to.
Absolutely.
And for me, that was a no-brainer. And I think the reason why some people get a ton of different training, but they still don't apply it, is because the way that they see sales still hasn't shifted.
Absolutely. And yet the most paid for skill in the whole world is sales.
That's what Warren Buffett said,
Yeah.
who's known for stock picking and things like that, but he said sales. Yeah.
Sales is the number one paid for skill in the whole world. If you want to know how to be someone of huge value in this world, that people will pay for you, selling.
Yeah.
Selling, you said it right, it goes into everything.
Yeah.
The way you got married, you had to sell.
Yeah.
You had to sell an aspect of who you are. Some people missold, and that's why things didn't work out.
I've got an example. I mean, let's say you're a teacher and you believe that's your calling, that's your mission to be a teacher. If a great teacher is someone that sells you why you should take the information.
It's not selling you or what, they're selling you or why.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're a counselor, they're selling you why you should change different things, and they're selling you different ways and alternatives to do something. If you're a lawyer, you need to sell to a group of people to why your points and your actions is more valid than someone else's.
Yeah.
If you're a police officer, you need to sell people why they shouldn't do something, you know,
Yes.
or why they should trust you. So you need to sell. You're a doctor. You need to sell someone of why they need to calm down. They should trust you, and you know, sales goes into everything and whatever.
If you want to pick up someone
Yeah,
and you got 5 seconds
5 seconds.
and they're in the car next to you
Mm-hmm.
and you swear that's your wife or that's your husband and you're about to miss this opportunity
Mm-hmm.
and they're right there, how'd you sell?
Yeah, exactly that. You need to
I feel like
sell.
putting you on the spot right
Oh, you're
now.
asking me right now.
Would you?
I'm not
Okay,
doing this.
okay,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
no
yeah,
problem,
you
no
know why?
problem. Okay,
You know
okay,
why?
No problem. We won't go there. But you need to sell. You need to find out quickly what that person's needs are and provide a solution.
Yeah, and that's key. You don't sell based on telling someone of what you think they should buy. You
Right.
ask them what they need and then sell according to that by providing, communicating a solution to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, someone said, yes, a teacher here. You need to sell to your classroom.
Yeah.
You do. Have you ever, there are teachers that no students buy into.
No. They may be the smartest ones, but they
Right.
don't buy into
But they
them.
don't have buy-in
Mm-hmm.
at all because they haven't learned how to provide the solutions that the children need.
Mm-hmm.
And those children have complex needs. So you almost have to learn how to broad sell or
Mm-hmm.
build rapport with a whole room. And there are teachers who don't necessarily have the skills. And selling it's one guy put it right, selling is all about rapport.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the root of it. It's all about building rapport. Rapport has been acronymed to be really all people prefer others reflecting themselves.
Yes,
Right?
I love it.
When you have rapport, so look how we're sitting now. We
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
intend to do that.
Yeah.
But because we got rapport, we're comfortable with each other. People who have rapport, you'll see them in conversations, they start to morph.
Yeah.
You drink water, I drink water. We start to sync together when you build rapport. And that's what selling is all about. It's all about the connection. It's all about the rapport with the client at the root.
Yeah.
And you build rapport by finding, again, what the problems are, by gaining trust. And it grows. Then you provide your values, your solution, your value proposition to the person. But negative attitudes towards selling slow down business so much for me. When finally I learned selling isn't bad, we do selling every day. Selling is conversational. Selling is the most rewardable gift in the whole world. When we learn about selling, finally it becomes
Natural.
everything,
Natural.
and it becomes natural.
Yeah.
The amount of selling I've done today without trying, I'm just like talking.
If you're a father, you need to sell your kids on how to behave, right? Why they shouldn't do something. You can't,
Right.
And you could either tell them just don't do that.
Yes.
But if you can sell them the idea, they do it without you even being there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So selling is another one. The underestimation of selling is another one. Oh, this is a big one.
Negative attitude.
This is a big
leadership
one.
versus managing. Oh, okay, I love this one.
Leadership versus management. Boy, I was nailed on this by a friend. Nailed. You know what she said?
I know who this friend is.
Oh man, I just wanted to headlock her and put her into sleep. It was,
This is good.
you are a great leader, greatly compassionate. See me, I'm like, yeah, greatly compassionate.
But.
You can, but
The but.
you suck at management. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness. Like that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I realized in that moment, it's a leadership assumption. Part of leadership has its blind spots. Management also has its blind spots. But leadership has its blind spots. The blind spot of leaders is, and I think we have to separate types of leaders. There are leaders you call pioneers, and then leaders. Leaders are actually followers of pioneers. Pioneers are true leaders. These are the people who create dirt roads. The leaders then walk on them. So pioneers themselves have a humongous blind spot. And my blind spot was the assumption that everybody's a leader. is that assumption. And leaders kind of, the way leaders think is, it's obvious. It's the problem, solve it. It's not, this isn't difficult, it's not long. There's the problem, solve it. And leaders don't think negatively at all. If something's wrong in the building, the lights aren't working, leaders don't start calling and go, oh my goodness, the lights aren't working. Leaders go, the lights weren't working, so what we did was we got those battery lights or the solar lights, we filled the whole hall with them, we've made sure that they're fully charged now and they're ready to go. We flooded the room with some light. It'll be a temporary measure. We got the electricity company on the way. They're gonna solve it in about 10 minutes. Don't worry about it, boss. Get on the stage, do your speech. Well, look, we've already announced to everybody that this is the case. That's how leaders think. Leaders are solution tacticians. They are immediate, they are instant with solutions. They're not, when somebody sparks up negativity, leaders don't pour more fire on it. They know exactly what to do, how to handle it, how to bring others along in the journey with them. Leaders can often be impulsive though, and we have negative stuff. But it's the assumption that everybody will lead, and my version of everyone leading is everyone will manage. Everyone will manage. I don't need, and it's assumptions. You know, someone said assume means making an ass out of you and me. Something like that. It really does. Assumption really does that. It makes a total ass out of us. It just makes us look completely stupid. Because it's that assumption. Actually, when I heard that statement, I read 3 books on management in 1 week.
Wow.
I filled my brain, and I'm going to read them again. I filled my brain, because I fill my brain with leadership. It's my number 1 thing to read is leadership.
What would you say the main different distinctions between leadership and management?
Leaders almost, it's like sometimes leaders, like let's say leaders, oh man, this can sound hugely sexist. I'm going to try and break away from that analogy.
Wow.
Oh, I can't. Leaders kind of, they're like, oh, this is wrong. I need something else. Let's reverse the sexism. You know penguins, right?
Yes.
Leaders are the ones who have the baby. And then the dad penguin, I'm reversing sexism, sits on the egg.
Oh.
Incubates the egg, nurtures
This
it,
was really
make
good.
sure it grows,
Yeah.
make sure it matures. You see what I'm saying? That's leaders versus management.
Okay.
Leaders kind of just kind of think, I'm going to birth it, other people will fix it. You know, I'm going to give birth to this thing. It's going to be chaotic, wild, and powerful. But suddenly, everybody's going to come in and create. I'm just going to have the baby. You raise the child.
I see.
I'm not going to raise him because I got other things to do. I got high-level decisions to make here. You bring up this baby for me. You sort out the processes. You organize the branding. You do the management side. You tell me what the value proposition is. You come up with the sales. Can't you do sales? Come on. That's how I used to be. Selling is easy. Why do I need to create a sales process? Managers take care of the process. But leaders sometimes have some natural managerial skills. They just don't do it for long.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it's about picking the right people. If you don't want to do management, at least get the right people in a team with you who understand management process. And I think if you intend on staying small, just do leadership. But if you want to be a colossus, and by colossus, I don't mean size here. I mean you want to be an impactful business.
Yeah.
Then you need a science.
Yes.
That's management. Leadership is poetry.
Predictability.
Management
process.
is science.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? That's the only way I could describe it. Leadership is natural born. You're a star if you're a leader. You were born with a star on your forehead. You know, leaders. Someone said leaders are made; they're not born. I actually believe there are some people who are just born different. I don't know what it is in their brain, but something about leaders. They're not status quo.
Yeah.
They just are born into leadership, and then you develop that sense of management around you. And I think that was a humongous mistake I made. In fact, our business was stifled in terms of growth for a
Okay.
while because I didn't understand the need for management in my team.
So is leadership creating the example, but managing makes it predictable and able to follow?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In a way, management also can take the leader's mind and turn it into processes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when it does, it's difficult. One of the things I watch superstar leaders. You know what I'm saying? You've got star leaders in the world. The problem about star leaders is they rarely have succession. They rarely do.
Interesting.
A good leader, a great leader, has worked himself out of a job. He's no longer needed. Bad leaders are always needed. Star leaders, like, there are some leaders, I think, if they died, what would happen?
Give me an example
Oh,
right now.
Man.
In the media, in public.
Let's say Ellen DeGeneres. Who's taken over? Who's taken over? Oprah. Who's taken her place?
I see.
You know, when you got that profile, we call
yeah.
them profiles. There's mechanics.
Yes.
There's supports. There's accumulators, traders. Then there's the star profile.
Yeah.
The star profile is the most difficult leader to duplicate because they're a star.
Yeah.
It's like
complex.
it's music for them.
Yeah.
It's natural. People gravitate towards them. There's something about them, in them, that you can duplicate. I think they were just born with a stronger sense of why. That's what makes them leaders. People feel them. They intuit them. They're not logically understanding why, but there's something that they feel that they resonate with on the inside of, and that to me would be the science of a star leader. They've just come to terms, or they have a great awareness and compulsion of why they're doing what they're doing.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys, are you enjoying this? Is everyone still there? I'm just reading comments now.
Hello,
Leaders
hello.
are penguins that sit on eggs. Love it. Well, no, managers are. Wow, I never thought it that way. The feminists are ready. Leaders are problem solvers. I hit that like the moment I came. Wake up. Oh, thank you. By the way, guys, please do like this video. I just want to see on Instagram what they're saying here as well. I work for a company and the main upline took me out of WhatsApp group just because she read something from me that she didn't like. Really unprofessional, putting personal relationships into work. That sounds sad. Sorry to hear that.
Wow. Sorry to
hear that. Guys, we're not going to get through 10, but we'll get through the main ones.
Where are we?
Leadership versus management
We're
is
halfway.
a huge one. Actually, I've skipped a few.
We've gone through assumptions as well.
Yeah.
We're doing 2 and 1.
Yes, I'm trying to. Oh, let's do this one. There is no such thing as balance.
Yes, I love this. I love this.
You can't be successful in balance.
No.
You can't.
No.
There are people on here who believe in that myth. Oh, you gotta be balanced.
Yeah.
No such thing. You have to be an extremist to be. There's just. This is where I think a lot of people fall out with leaders. People misunderstand people who are born why. You know, they're moving towards their why. It's not possible. You should. I'm not saying don't create order, but that order is only really there to provide some parameters
Absolutely.
for you to
Boundaries.
function. But there is no such thing.
As balance.
No such thing. When you are passionate, you're not balanced.
If you want anything valuable in life,
Yes.
you need to be prepared, at least, the very least, worst case scenario, to be very unbalanced for a short period of time.
Yes.
So you have the opportunity to have a little bit of balance later. But a lot of people's idea of balance is still not balanced.
Yeah.
You know, when you say balance is working, you know, from 9, then you come home at 6 or 7, then you have time, it's still not balanced. Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
that's not balanced at all.
Yes.
True freedom requires you to be unbalanced for a short period of time,
Right.
so you can access the choice for freedom
Yeah.
later on. Someone said to me, you know, the reason why I don't want to be a millionaire because I don't want to do the work. So that's fair enough. That's very honest of you.
That's honest.
Very honest. And I remember when someone said to me, do you know that everyone does the work required to be a millionaire anyway over the course of their life? Millionaires just choose to do it over a short period of time. And that's what gave them the choice.
Yeah.
And that hit me.
Yeah.
It hit me. Everyone does it anyway. They just
Yeah.
choose to go through and compress the pain over a short period of
Yeah.
time. And that's what leads to momentum.
And the lack of balance is called sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay a price.
The price.
There is no way to go up without giving up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible. In fact, you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to go to this level, what am I willing to give up to get there?
Yeah.
You know, it's just not people who think they can have it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they lose. You cannot without great price.
Yeah.
The only thing that you should not pay with is your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the only
I
price
love that
you
you said that.
shouldn't pay,
Yeah.
is your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You should not do something immoral that sacrifices or compromises who you are fundamentally to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why I can't do drug dealing or scamming people out. There are so many ways we could have made money in this forex industry by
Yeah.
scamming people.
Oh, yeah,
we could have
100%.
set up an IB, sent out some signals, get people to really connect with us, and raked in millions of pounds. I can't sit on a beach somewhere knowing I've defrauded people. That's not success. It's got to be good, well-made money. It's got to be ethically.
There needs to be
made.
the byproduct, which is other people's lives have been affected in the same place.
Right.
Yeah.
That means that money needs meaning.
Yes.
I can't do business for the sake of just money.
Yeah.
It's what the money does. It's
Absolutely.
the tool. It's not the accumulation. It's the transformation that the money brings to the lives of people and individuals as it's
Absolutely.
being made. So it's that balance. It's the law of sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch fairy tale movies and they say, make a wish, I want something, they always say magic doesn't come without a cost. You know?
Yeah, yes.
It's a principle of life.
Wow.
Nothing in this world of good comes without cost.
Yeah.
If you ever see successful people, don't envy the prize. Ask them, what price did you pay?
Yes.
What did you do? What time do you wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
You know, how much time do you really get to spend with your family?
Yeah.
In the beginning, when you were doing it, how many friends did you lose to get to where you got to? How many people misunderstood you on the journey? How much money did you lose?
Yes.
Believing in your dream. It's always, it's just not, I think this is one of the most misunderstood things. We all want the prize without the price.
Yeah. They were willing to try more times than most people are willing to fail.
Wow.
You know, they went through more, they were willing to go through more heartache and disappointment, which they could have just consoled themselves by quitting at any time and living a comfortable life,
Absolutely.
but they pushed on. So I think more people would criticize people's harvests less if they just knew what it took for them to sow to where they got to. Yeah.
Someone asked, what price did I pay and am I currently paying? Boy, how vulnerable can I be?
Wow.
Oh, I'm going to try not to be too vulnerable here because this is some sore places for me.
Yeah.
I'll try and let me see. It could make me cry.
Yeah, I hear you.
Really thinking. I think people see the money, they'll see the nice watch, a beautiful car, they'll see the family and the house. But boy, when I sit in that house, I remember what went into it. I remember, we don't show on Instagram us
No.
crying on the floor.
That's not what you, yeah.
We don't show the pillows that are soaked with tears. We don't comment on the people who betrayed us in the worst ways, the people who stole your concepts, your ideas, the people who tried to take you to court, the friends who left you, the people who misunderstood you and dragged you. We don't share it. We don't often share as leaders the conversations we've had with ourselves to quit, to give up.
Yeah.
But see, the problem, I think, when you found your why is if someone ever took your why, you'd rather die.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's that extreme. This is not business. It's not Wealth Nation. It feels like if you took this from me, it's bigger than wealth. If you took this, you've taken my this business is an expression of
The core being.
the core of who I am. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the ability to bring others to freedom. It's core in me. I am. If I see shackles, I gotta break it off.
Absolutely.
You can't stay small in your mind, in your spirit, in your emotions, in your finance. Freedom is what I'm all about. And this business is one of the expressions of who I am. So you tip that and you try and take it, or you attack this. You're attacking.
Yeah, it
feel
feels
it.
personal, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel it, and I would rather die,
Yeah.
you know, than start. I simply found something worth dying for, and it's not Wealth Nation, trademark, limited company with hatred. No. It's the why. It's the meaning behind it. So I've paid dearly.
It's almost like birthing a child.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And you pay dearly. It's not possible to be successful if you haven't wept. If you haven't, I mean, I'm not talking about crying. I'm talking about sobbing.
Yes.
Gutter, ugly, snot, by yourself.
Yeah.
You haven't begun.
Those noiseless cries.
Right.
Where there's no sound even coming
Right.
out. Yeah.
I'm talking in the middle of the night. I'm talking, you know, it's what made a pearl. A bit of dirt got into an oyster. It creates pressure, heat. In fact, they say that oyster goes through intense pain. But that pressure is what made the pearl. What gives us olive oil? It's the seed that got crushed that gives us the oil. Nothing precious comes without pain.
Yeah.
Nothing in this world that is of worth, notoriety, comes without pain. That's why when I see people criticize successful people, I just think you're small. You're small. You're a small person. It's not a rude. I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm just saying.
You're small as you are right now.
I don't
Yeah.
think. I just think you're small. I think, because you know, only spectators have the privilege of criticism.
Yeah. But if they were in the ring.
You can't criticize.
Yeah.
There's no time. I saw somebody comment today on a leader who had fallen into some transgression, some sexual transgression. And the person said in the comments, "This has to stop!" Exclamation, exclamation. And I looked through their page to find out what achievement they've made, what great feat they've conquered, what move out of their comfort zone they've done. And I saw nothing but criticism of great people who are influencing the world in some way. The great biblical epic of Peter walking on water.
Yes.
You hear people criticize how he doubted and began to sink. But have you ever walked on water one day in your life?
Wow. Yeah.
I think criticism is the privilege of spectators. When you're watching a fight or football match from
Yeah.
your living room at home, when I used to watch fighting,
Yeah.
I think, come on, Connor.
Yeah.
get up,
Yes.
Get
Yeah.
up, lamp him.
Yeah.
Habib, who's Habib? Lamp him, you're
Yeah.
the champ. What's going on? I did boxing with Cash
Yes.
in Wealth Nation.
Yeah.
A great guy, great leader. Within 2 minutes, I was gassed. I was gassed.
And then you found respect for those that
Oh man!
on the screen.
Now when I watch this, and when Cash just hit me like this with the
The
I
pad.
was like,
Oh.
these guys are cracking shins against faces,
Yeah.
breaking jaws and
Yeah.
bones, and taking punishment. And I'm there. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Now I watch, and every hit feels like, oh, it doesn't look like it
No.
when you're watching it. But when you involve or engage in the game, you really do realize.
Yeah. When you're trying to change the world, the spotlight's on you,
Yeah.
and your actions will be dissected in a way that if you weren't trying to change the world, people would ignore anyway.
Mhm.
But the fact that you are, it's like people justify that you have to be even more perfect
Yeah.
than you are. But
Yeah. And I think the final lesson I'd like to leave us with, and I'm sure it's not 10, is this lesson. It deals with this here. It's
time.
time.
It's limited the moment you were born.
The moment you were born, limitation was put upon you by time. One of my greatest regrets is I didn't start earlier. I wasted so much time thinking about beginning.
Same.
I regret it with everything in me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in me. I feel like I should have been here many years ago. But I just wasted so much time with my excuses. And look at it. We never get it back.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't flow back up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly empty out. This is our life.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe I'm the age I am.
Wow.
I remember
I forget that
yesterday
you are. Yeah.
being in the playground
Really.
with my friends, not a care in the world.
Wow.
Not a care in the world. I remember it like it was yesterday, being in classroom and couldn't wait till I'm older, wanting to grow up super quick. Now, all I want is to go back
Wow.
to my younger self and just say, dude, this thing's gonna catch up with you. I wake up in the morning and I have children calling me daddy, daddy.
Wow.
It's like, wait,
Yeah.
when did that happen? When did that happen? And look, all of this is going, and every single moment, a decision can be made that actually fills this back up.
Yes.
And actually, I've realized something about money. If you learn to make it a servant,
You're able to
you
gain
can
it
buy
back.
back time.
And can I say something? One of the questions I always ask people that I think lets them understand the depth of what you just said is when I say, if you are still exactly where you are right now in 5 years' time, would you be happy? And they could be like, oh no, I'm happy. But this moment I ask that question and they hesitate, I realized I've just let them understand that they may be procrastinating, they may be just misunderstanding the futile limitations of what they can do to gain their time back. And then when someone said to me as well, 5 years is going to go by anyway. Whatever you do, it will go by anyway. The question is, where are you going to arrive?
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I can actually change that. Everything I do will have a compounding effect, and I'm going to lead to a place, but I can influence it.
Right.
Time.
Time. What are we going to do with the time we have? On that note, guys, our
It's
time
time.
is
It's
up.
up.
It's now 8:59. We have 1 more minute. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in and being with us every single week. If you haven't already, if you're on Instagram, please make the decision to subscribe right now to our YouTube channel that is called Wealth Mental Gold. The name will be changing in a couple of days. But while you have the chance, please do subscribe. Our YouTube channel is called Wealth Mental Gold. I believe that this session has hopefully inspired you, has hopefully caused you to think differently, especially I think the most important one is time.
Yes.
Time, maximizing the moments. Maximizing the moments. Every single minute is a moment. What are you doing in that moment that maximizes it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you juicing time? Are you milking time for everything it's got? You know? And so, guys, I really do, again, hope you've enjoyed today. Please do subscribe. We're going to be doing something interesting soon. We may do this. Oh, it's already Wealth Nation TV. Please do subscribe on Wealth Nation TV. The name has already changed. Please do subscribe. Please don't forget to hit like. There's 87 of you on here, only 50 likes. Please don't forget to hit that like button or dislike if you didn't like it. And please help us do something. We comment often in the live chat, and I know the majority of you won't do this, but I'm begging you, please do this. We comment often in the live chat, but we forget to comment in the main chat after the video. This optimizes the video the more you comment. So I want you please to write, once we've uploaded this video, please don't forget to do it. Write underneath this video what your takeaway was, what you really liked, what you didn't like, what you disagreed with. We enjoyed the discussion, but also tell us what you would like us to talk about in successive shows. We're also going to be doing something interesting. I'm going to try and do this next week, and I hope my media guys are listening to me so we can start working on this. I'm going to put a call-in line here, so you guys can phone us.
Wow, what?
Phone us live and ask live questions.
I don't know if this is a good idea. Are you
It's going to be a great idea.
It's good.
It's
All right,
gonna
it'll
be a
be
great
fun.
idea. I
Regardless,
stole
it'll be
it.
fun.
It's going to be a great idea. It's not actually my idea. It's not original. But we're going to do a call-in line.
The Ben Shapiro thing.
Something like that. We're going to do a call-in line, and you guys will call us live when we open up the lines. You'll be able to talk to us. You can ask us any question you want, and it'll just be a great chance to communicate with all of you. But have a great time, a fantastic week. Oh, wait, before you go, this Saturday we have a live event. It's called I Am CEO. Wealth Nation is launching. It's our great new project that we want you all to be a part of. If you have not registered for Wealth Nation, I think they're going to put a link. I believe they're going to put a link for Wealth Nation. If you have not registered for CEO Club this Saturday, it starts at 9 a.m. live online. If you haven't registered, a link will appear in the description of this or in the chat at some point. Please do look out for it. Or if you're on Instagram, just go to my bio, I Am CEO link. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Have a great day, guys. God bless and catch up soon.
Ended yet open. The man or woman at the top has the crown that lays the heaviest.
Some women get burned and some are formed in the fire.
The victory is not about the peak or the end, it's really about those moments where you couldn't see your friends.
It's a game of chess, only all the pieces are alive and want to move their own way.
Where the only thing you had was the plan and the vision.
They see lack, I see seeds for multiplication.
I do this for the freedom and those sad souls who refuse to come along die in the grave called average.
I see things different.
Everyone is chosen, but few heed the call.
In my job, I chase security or the illusion of it, but in my element, the pain is there to remind me I must be brave enough to chase freedom.
These are the moments where leaders are born.
I am CEO. Now click.